Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Nanatsu no Taizai, the Four Nights of the Apocalypse, on episodes number 6 to 8. Now, I'm pretty sure all you guys might be asking me and wondering why the hell are you so late? What happened to last week? What you're supposed to do another maybe 3 episodes or so about on Four Nights of the Apocalypse or so. I was kind of tired. I was very lazy, and I had many things going on. Okay, I mean, I know I wasn't supposed to forget, but life has its ways of keeping you busy in other cases, and I was just very exhausted. Anyways, these 3 episodes right here, 6, 7, 8, was actually pretty nice, and the way how it was done, it was not too bad. So if anything else, let's just get this started right away. Okay. We have to it that Ironside is greeted by Anne and her father talking for a bit about looking for another piece of the eternal coffin of darkness, Eventually, we go back to a scene with Percival, Nascience, and Donnie traveling around together. Eventually, they end up meeting or going to a village or city called Sistana whatsoever, And eventually, Percival's mini magic freaking little things, or mini Percivals, if you want to call them, whatever you want to call them, ends up finding an item that belongs to the coffin of eternal darkness. We have to it on ends up meeting Nascience, Donnie, and Percival, and was picking a fight with them, but not out of malice or hatred, but out of cautionary measure and what the heck they were doing with the piece of the coffin of eternal darkness. Her magic, on the other hand, was shown that she could tell that they could be liars or so. She later on actually trusts Percival because he is not filled with lies, and he's very pure and truthful to the very beginning to the end. We have to it that eventually she gives the eternal piece of the coffin of darkness to Percival and tells him not to give it to Ironside no matter what. We have to it eventually. Percival will later on have a meeting with Nascience, Donnie, and Sin about the situation. Sin, on the other hand, tells Percival not to be reckless with his actions because, as he is now, he has no chance against Ironside or Ironseed. However you want to pronounce it. I call it Ironside because it's much more better that way because in English pronunciation. Other than that, we have to it that eventually we see that Ironside actually has most of the eternal coffin of darkness whatsoever ready. We have to it, Sin realizes the danger of this and that they really have to escape with that piece of coffin, But we have to it that Ironside was trying to make a lie about Britannia wanting to destroy everything while he himself is actually doing it himself. And An says, hey, don't believe this guy. I could tell that this guy's a liar or is a freaking liar or a guy who's telling the truth or tell a lie. Ironside seems to be annoyed by this. I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, this guy's really starting to get on my nerve, We have to Percival shows up and saves An from getting in danger, And we have to it that they decide to go to the location or in where they had the coffin of eternal piece of darkness whatsoever, which is a stupid mistake because if that thing is very, very important, you're not supposed to leave it out in the open like that and bring it with you. Well, in terms of timelines and how less modern it could be nowadays, it's only natural. Eventually, that piece of the coffin of eternal darkness will later on be stolen by Ironside's servant or subordinate and gives it to him. We have to it. Sin, on the other hand, tells Percival, An, Donnie, and Nascience that you gotta stop this ritual from happening because what happened when we sealed what happened many years ago or thousands of years ago when the demon cloud was sealed away, the goddesses had to sacrifice himself. Right now, Ironside is planning to sacrifice all the humans in this village or town whatsoever to activate the ritual or whatsoever, whatever the case may be. Who knows? But one thing for certain is that Sin makes the idea of a plan and warning Percival and the others just to get one piece of the coffin of eternal darkness and they win the fight, And we have to it that Sin, on the other hand, decides to go do his own thing and decides to make sure nothing goes out of control, which we don't really know where he went off to. And as for Percival and the others, they decide to go stop Ironside's ritual from killing and sacrificing the innocent people of the town or village, etc. That's where episode 6 stands. Episode 7 is where they end up fighting Ironside, Of course, Donnie, on the other hand, is too much of a coward, and I can see a lot of people hating him. There's no denying of that. He is annoying from the start at the beginning, and he is a coward. No denying of that, the way how he shows it this way. But in other terms, he never had much skills to begin with, and he's not really much of a fighter the way how he was introduced, And it can be annoying and it can be irritating. That much is to be said. But we have to it that since Donnie ran off and can't handle it, we have to it Percival, Nasius, and Anglahad, or An, decides to take on Ironside, As for Donnie, like I said, he's running off trying to escape because he doesn't want to die. That much is to be said. I mean, it's only a human reaction. Now, when it comes to the fight in episode 7 with Percival, Nasius, and An, or Anglahad, we have to it they really stood no chance at all. That's just how weak they are compared to everything else. As for Ironside, he actually ends up killing his son Percival, which apparently is devastating news to Nasius and Anglahad, as they are very hurt by this. Eventually, Donnie will later on decide to go back and help out, even though he doesn't want to, but he decides to do it the right way anyway. Eventually, when things gotten very dark to see Percival dead, we have to it that a mini magic Percival shows up, and because everyone's hope is saying that, hey, I trust you, I believe in you, you're my hero kind of thing. Anglahan says the same thing, that you're a wonderful boy, you're a good person. Out of everyone I've met, you're the only one that had no lies or secrets, and that's why I believed and trusted you, Eventually, by the time Donnie shows up, we have to it that Percival's power later on not only revive him, but also protect his friends from any other danger, And we have to it that eventually things are starting to look pretty nice and slick for now, as episode 7 ends up with Percival being revived with his magic power being in full 100% or beyond 100% blast whatsoever to take on Ironside once more. But we also have to it when it comes to the town of chaos monsters or strange creatures or monsters that turn from buildings, we have to it that we get to see a person going into action, and every time he used a weapon of a dagger, that thing breaks, We don't really know who that person is, honestly, but, pretty crazy stuff. We have to it that Percival was almost fooled by Ironside by giving up, But Anglahad, or An, who knows how to predict or detect lies or the truth from the person, tells Percival not to fall for it. This guy has no compassion, no care of the world. Right now, he's focused on killing you. This angers Ironside very much and goes onto a berserking rampage trying to kill Percival. But sadly for him, and unfortunately for him, ever since Nasians managed to put some numbing or poison on Anglahad's blade and managed to land a blow on him, we have to it that it is actually affecting Ironside's point on hit accuracy, In terms of that, what I mean is he can't seem to hit them on the mark because of the poison or paralysis that's on his body, Eventually, we have to it that they manage to smash the piece of eternal coffin of darkness, and they end up managing to steal a piece, which looks like the handle that we see which becomes the handle that we all know what that looks like in the original Nanatsu no Taizai series, You get the idea. I'm not going to say any more than that. Unless you watched the series or read the series from the very beginning up until now, watch or read it, you'll get the idea. Other than that, they managed to win, and we get to see Ironside's true face, He looks exactly like Percival's grandfather or his father in other cases, and ends up having to forcefully retreat because Mortlight told him that the person who managed to annihilate all the creatures has been doing it effortlessly, in one-hit attacks. So the only people who are able to do that is someone on par with them or the 7 deadly sins themselves, Eventually, Ironside, having no choice, decides to escape without the completed coffin of eternal darkness whatsoever, eventually everyone was actually very happy that they managed to survive, you know, which I really don't blame them for, you know. It was kind of hilarious how it went. It was kind of hilarious how it went here and there. But other than that, we have to it that Ironside, you know, goes back to King Arthur and explains the bad news. Percival, on the other hand, gets emotional because Ironside looks exactly like his grandfather, you know, etc. So, at this point, like I said, Ironside goes to Arthur, explains the bad news. Arthur, on the other hand, decides to punish him and tells him why he's doing all this, blah, 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 because the humans suffered greatly by the 4 races 16 years ago, yada, yada, yada. I could go on and explain in explicit detail, but I'm putting it in a simplified summary format because there's no point of like talking about it in a long way. Other than that, Arthur, besides punishing Ironside, you know, he removed the poison of paralysis from his body and ends up having to like, hey, you know what? I have another mission for you I want you to do, okay? So hear me out, you know? And we go back to like Percival and his group, you know, etc. And they end up having to like get ready to go on a new journey, you know? We have to it, Anglahan is going on a journey but not alone. Her father says, hey, I don't want you to go alone. You're going to be traveling with these guys, okay? So I wish you the best, whatever journey you have to go on, because I know you're pretty new and you're naive, but you're going to get stronger from this, you know? I'll be cheering you on as best I can. So, etc. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. And there's a post-credit scene, you know, we get to see Percival being a little uneasy considering that either because he fought Ironside and lost or he sees Ironside's true face. We don't know. One thing was certain, Sin cheers him up saying, you just gotta get stronger and get better. Is that cool? And Percival was like, yeah, not a problem. Not a big deal. I'll be ready to do anything, whatever I have to, you know, etc. And we have to it that Percival gets ready to go on to his new adventure with a new companion, you know. So at this point, we get to see that An joins the group. So we have Donnie, An, Nasians, Percival, and Sin traveling together to Leones, you know. So pretty cool stuff. Anyways, thought the 3 episodes were nicely adapted, you know. Looking forward to the next 3 I'll be talking. Hopefully, I'll look forward to the next 3 I'll be talking about. Hopefully next weekend if I don't miss it, you know. And then there's more to it after that. And I hope to like finish like season 1 of the anime before season 2 gets released. And this time I won't try to slack on that, even if there's no subtitles, because like I said over and over again, etc., that I am up to date with the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse manga. So yeah. Anyways, looking forward to like to the next 3 episodes I'll be doing next weekend. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.